Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unleash Her. Now, I'm Roberta, your host for today's podcast, in case you don't know me. And today we're going to talk about being unleashed and finding your authentic self. And I'm so excited and honored to introduce you to a friend of mine, a newer friend of mine. Um, Such a pleasure of mine to introduce Tee Recx. Hi, Tee Recx. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Thank you so much for being here
I'm honored.
today.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be on. Thank you.
Yes, I have a feeling this is going to be good.
Yes, I hope so.
Absolutely. This is raw and real. We are just having a great conversation. And could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my entertainment name is Tee Recx. Government name is Terrence. I was born in Chicago, but I was raised in Alabama. My mom was from Alabama. My dad was from Chicago, and so uh, very grateful for them coming down here to Alabama. Of course, it's a lot safer than being in Chicago, but just to be around both sides of my family on my dad and my mom's side. A lot of people don't get to experience that, which is sad. Which you should have. Um, both families in your life or whatever. But grew up in Alabama, a small town, uh, and then I ended up going to school in Huntsville, Alabama. I ended up getting a degree in management information systems, so I have an IT background, and I always been a fan of entertainment and just music in general. My dad was a house DJ in Chicago, and so being in our household was like being at a radio station. We was always hearing music every day. And so it was just something that was part of my life. I always tell people, I couldn't sing, I couldn't rap, um, but I could do everything else in the industry. And so 14 years ago, I got into podcasting, and I didn't want to do it at first, very nervous. Even though I love to talk, I didn't like to talk like in public or a big forum with lots of people. But I gave it a shot, and of course, everything turned out to be very well. I still do podcasting sometimes, but more now is more into doing like media personality type work for the Hype magazine and TMZ Live, DigiWax, Maverick Global Distribution, and just doing all of that. I'm able to represent great companies like Vion, which is a French cognac, Fit by Culture, it's a fitness apparel, and Manha. Manha is a new endorsement that I have, Smart Gadgets. They specialize in smart glasses and VR. So just doing all of that has opened up so many doors and opportunities, and it has allowed me to, share my faith and serve my purpose in helping people. And first and foremost, love God and love people.
Yes, I love that. So you started podcasting 14 years ago, kind of like when it was just there weren't too many people out there.
Oh, it was not. It was very tough. It was kind of frowned upon because you have your brick and mortar radio stations that still commanded a lot of the market. Sirius and XM, they were still fairly new, but they have already had their establishment in the game for quite a while, and so podcasters was not uh, looked as a good thing to those industry because they wanted to keep the interviews, the exclusives to themselves, of course, for ratings and also have people to tune in. But podcasters broke the barrier, I feel, because one, we wasn't FCC regulated, so you can talk about anything. It was unfiltered, and it allowed people of all walks of life, celebrities, just to tell their truth or just say how they really felt about things, rather than being on FM. That you have to kind of I guess, kind of tone it down a little bit because of FCC and everything else. And so it wasn't a great field to be in at the moment, but I was able to team up with the Hype magazine 4 months into podcasting. No radio experience at all. I started off in my basement with just a laptop and just a basic computer microphone. But the opportunity came to work with the Hype magazine, and then within the 5th month of ever podcasting, I had already interviewed Twista and Warren G. And so just to get that within the first 4 to 5 months of podcasting was great. And that kind of just broke ground for me. And then everybody else that was in it too, um, they was able to network and form relationships, and then able to get those kind of interviews. And then podcasting will continue to grow. And then up until, the pandemic took place, and it really accelerated that then because we were all in the house. And podcasting is very mobile. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in your house, side of the street, outside, backyard, just anywhere you name it. You have an internet connection. You was able to do it. But those early years was very tough. And I feel like the people that were doing it then broke ground for the popularity of podcasts today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this was, even though you were scared, you didn't want to do it, which
Right.
was a lot like me, myself. I'm like, oh, I don't know. And it sounds like a lot of work and
Yeah.
and all of those. But wouldn't you agree that it just opens doors? It gets your voice out there and it opens doors.
Right. And just the art of communication in general, just getting to know people on a one-to-one basis, you get to learn a lot. So just being a podcast host, you get a lot of wisdom and information from industry people that may not willingly tell you that or talk to you about on the street or whatever, but have them on the show, you can pretty much get insight on everything and just kind of piece everything together. And you kind of I won't say call it a cheat code, but you do have kind of a blueprint of the industry, the do's and don'ts, who you can contact, who not to contact. And so it does build your clientele up as well and make you as a resource as well, because you meet so many people across the world just doing podcasting, and you keep that relationship going because you can always reach back out or anything. Or if they are doing any kind of art, reach back out when they have release dates for certain projects and stuff. So it just keep that communication going, and you just learn as you go, as you do interviews. And that's just how I was able to learn about the industry and just learn how to navigate through it and get through all the BS that surrounds it too.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you this platform to do those type of things, and if you have to tell your story, to
Absolutely.
tell your story, to share it with others in hopes that we are helping others along the way, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, so was there like, okay, have you always had confidence? Like, how did you, you know, I know you were a little apprehensive at first starting the podcast and everything, but you had enough confidence to start it.
Yeah, it took a lot of not pushing, but
Yeah.
I guess kind of persuading me like, yeah, you can really do this. And so I had a lot of encouragement. And so I just went ahead and gave it a shot. And I'm glad I did, because if I didn't, I would still be wondering or assuming how it would have been if I have done podcasting. And so, yeah, I didn't have the confidence in the beginning, but I gained it each time I did
Mhm.
interview somebody or put something together, and it just felt good to be able to have the show. And then the person I interviewed felt great about the interview, so it was a win-win situation, and that just how my confidence continued to grow throughout my career.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. And you said too, it was like that's kind of the same thing, the same journey that I've been on.
Mm.
And I felt like the more I talk, because I was very quiet.
Okay.
I was very, very quiet, very shy. I've never been the type, like, if there's a big group of people, I'm not gonna go up and, like, talk loud and introduce myself in a big group of people. One on one, I feel comfortable. So this for me, I think is just helping me with my confidence and to be able to do those things. And that's kind of what it does, right? Has done for you
Absolutely.
as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not that kind of person either to, be in a big room and just going around introducing myself. I usually I tell people I'm in observation mode. I'm just kind of getting a feel for everybody's vibe and, the energy in the room before I start, speaking about anything and interacting. So I guess you can call that a defensive mechanism that I have when I first enter a room and just kind of just survey and make sure I spot everybody that's in the room. So I try to do like a 360 view
Mm.
of everybody that's in the room that I'm in. So just know what's going on at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what's so funny too? So the whole unleashed thing, it's like once I started stepping into this like new identity,
Mhm.
now when I go out, I'm like, I want to go dancing and I want to just get out there and dance like nobody is watching. Like I don't care what other people think of me. And that took some work. I'm gonna tell you, it took some inner work. And I know that I'll continue from here. And, I was just wondering too, like, what can we do to kind of help others find their confidence?
But we are human, and so we like recognition
Mhm.
and encouragement.
Mhm.
And I think that coming from another human being, friend, family, stranger, that helps out a lot with your confidence. And uh, even just a small gesture or thank you, uh, words like that, that can go a long way. And I know we take that for granted at times, telling people thank you or you're doing a great job or you give them a pat on the back, just saying, just keep on going. I know it's tough. We need more of that. Our culture is mostly competition. Uh,
Mhm.
how society pretty much teaches us to look over your shoulder and you compete with everybody. But to really be human, you gotta love yourself, and also if you are a person of faith, seek a higher power, seek God, um, just whatever you are involved in. Those are some of the ways that you can get confidence, and once you get confidence in yourself, then you'll be willingly to go out and help others and just go through this journey together because it's not easy. It's not easy. Um, it's a daily struggle every day. Some people can walk through life with a smile every day and still have problems, and or vice versa.
Mhm.
Uh, you can walk around with a sad face, but you still push through or whatever. Just know that. Make sure you surround yourself with people that's going to encourage you and not just be an enabler or a yes person all the time, but someone that's going to correct you as well. And that helps too because you have a solid foundation around you. And that's why I feel like that can help other people. Just encouragement and just make sure you surround yourself with people that is looking for the or want to help bring out the better version of you and vice versa.
Oh, absolutely. They always say, look around you at the 10 closest people that you're surrounded by, because
Yes,
you will pretty much notice yourself in those people.
absolutely.
So it's finding out, what you want. But I know that I never wanted to cause any friction. So I was a people pleaser. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go here. And then this whole like when I took some time for myself just a few years ago and asking those questions, like, who am I? And what really, if I could have anything, what would I love?
Mhm.
And this has been, a journey of mine. And I mean, if I could ask you, like, are there things, do you have goals? Do you write goals down? Do you have um things in your life? Do you think big?
I always look at the whole picture. Um, so yeah, I guess you could say I think big. I just try to look at the whole entire picture of how it can be, how it should be. Just the idealistic way of doing things. But in reality, it's not always going to be like that. And so, um, I enjoy the small things because all the additions to the small things eventually leads up to bigger things. Um, I learned one thing just in life in general about being consistent. Uh, People very, very much value consistency, no matter what are you doing in life. If you're a podcaster or you do manual labor or anything, if you showing consistency on the positive side, that's good as gold too. And so as far as the big picture, I think we get discouraged because we look at the end goal and we don't necessarily want to go through the process. So we want to skip 1 through 9 and get to 10 and be like, yeah, but some people are lucky, or I ain't gonna say lucky, blessed to be able to skip steps sometimes, but most of us cannot do that. And so everything is a process. But as long as you are consistent and you trust the process, eventually you will make it to the big picture. But you
Yeah.
can't do it, but you can't do it without being consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Like, and whatever that is, you're saying, basically like you're putting the open sign,
Right.
like, I'm open for business. I am here. I'm showing up no matter what.
Good, bad, or the ugly. You're gonna be there regardless. And
Mhm.
just do the best you can at that time.
Yeah. I've been very fortunate to have a couple of mentors who were absolutely amazing. And one was Bob Proctor, from from the movie The Secret. And I mean, he's like, do not set small goals. Like, think big. But then you can't, so then you break it down,
Mhm.
right? So you can break it down in 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever that may be. Because when you look at that big goal, it seems so huge. But isn't it, when you look back now, you're like, it's the journey. Like, if we had everything that we wanted today, it's done. I already have it all. Like, it's no, it's the journey, it's the climb, it's getting there and going through all those things. That's what's so rewarding.
Right. And see what's going on now with me. I wanted this in the beginning, but it took the journey to get here. And so I definitely appreciate it a lot more than just, having it handed to me,
Mhm.
or, and then work for it, because I wouldn't have appreciated it as much as I do now, because I
Yeah.
actually went through the journey. And so
Right.
I know all about the blood, sweat, and the tears, the good, bad, and the ugly of it. And so that just made me even more appreciative that I went through all of those seasons and yet still able to do things that I love to do.
Yeah, and I think that's why, you're so encouraging for others to see, where you've been and what you've gone through. And sometimes, I was talking to one of my friends and I'm like, people look at you like you're so put together and they don't know some of this that you've been through. I think you should share a little bit of that. I mean, she was in a very bad accident and wasn't supposed to live. They actually didn't take pictures of her after this accident. She's like, I don't have any photos to share. And I'm like, well, find a way to do that, because I think people can relate to you more too
Right.
when they see that. Like, we've been there. you
Yes,
know.
absolutely. Yeah, I deal with social anxiety, believe it or not. people be like, "You in the wrong field." To have social anxiety and you're always out and, you know, doing shows and going to events and stuff like that. But yeah, it is something I've been battling with since as long as I can remember. Um, I have a kind of like a heart murmur. They call it mitral valve prolapse, and so I was born with that. My mom had it when she was alive, so it's like a one of the side effects. You have a heart murmur, and so then that just makes your body kind of anxious in general. And so I've been dealing with social anxiety all my life, and this last few months, I'm just going to current right now. These last few months has been kind of hard because I was on medication. Um, I was on Wellbutrin and Zoloft. Um, I got put on those when my dad passed away. Uh, he passed away from dementia. 3 years prior, my mom passed away from dementia too. So um, my dad was able to be the caretaker for my mom, but when she passed away and his dementia progressed, my wife and I ended up being caretakers for him. And so just seeing one of the strongest men in my life
Mm,
deteriorate, it took me through a lot mentally, and it just made my social anxiety even worse, pretty much. On top of the pandemic going on,
mhm,
losing a sister, family members, and just during that period of time. And so that took a lot out of me. And I even see a therapist now. No shame of saying that. I know people uh, try to downplay mental health, but mental health is very important.
mhm.
And so I like to share that with people as far as like take care of your health, get a 3 to 6 month checkup. That's very beneficial, not just for you, but for people that love you, because you don't want anything to happen to you. We only can control what we can, but
Mhm,
preventative maintenance,
mhm,
things that we can see, prior to something happening. That's the things that I recommend to anybody. I always tell my circle that all the time. You got to check up. Have you been to the doctor? Make sure everything okay. There's nothing wrong with having a therapist or venting to somebody, because we all need it. We all human. Um, all this YOLO and uh, single stuff that I can do this on my own, as far as living, is for the birds. Because this whole world is a village, and so we all have to work together at some point. And so just getting back to uh, some of the struggles, my social anxiety. Now that I have been off of that, you go through the side effects, the electric shock, or what they call electric jerk or whatever. I've been through all of that and stuff, and all the agitation and stuff. So now I feel a whole lot better, because I feel like now I can really go after the root of the problem without having to be on that particular medication. And so that is some of the things I battle daily, on a daily basis, that uh, people outside of my circle don't know about, but I don't mind sharing it with the world, because
mhm,
a lot of people do, keep up with what I'm doing and stuff. And just to put this out there, that there's nothing wrong with seeking help. There's nothing wrong calling the hotline if you need someone to talk to, or counseling, or if you're going through a mental health crisis. Um, there's people out there that's willing to help, and no motive behind it.
mhm.
And so I feel good. I feel better. Definitely putting that out. Even though I am an entertainer, but
Mhm.
but you'll be surprised. A lot of entertainers and celebrities that have anxiety issues, or they are very introverted.
Right? Oh my gosh. So, I can relate to a lot of that. I went through a lot of anxiety and depression myself a few years ago. And I was on a lot of medication. I had thyroid issues. I was on thyroid medication. And, somehow I pulled myself out of all that. And I really, I think I was embarrassed to really talk to anyone, to share with anyone. So I held that all inside, which just made it worse. And then I went through this like abusive relationship. And once I got out of that, then it was like, okay, I'm opening up. And I did start seeing a therapist, and I started changing um my eating habits and all of those things. And, I feel great now, but that doesn't mean that I don't have bad days too myself. But it is very important to have this team around you, a community, people around you that that you can rely on and talk to, that won't judge you, and all of that. So I appreciate that. And, are there things that you do every day? Like, do you meditate? Do you have certain things that you do? A lot of people believe in love the the affirmations and mirror work, and there's all these journaling.
I just pray and meditate most of the time.
Mhm,
Um, yeah, I don't journal or anything like that, but I do make sure um, I take time for God and
mhm,
through meditation and through music too. I would listen to contemporary Christian music, gospel music, um, or something just mellow to take my mind away from today's world and reflect on something greater than this earth.
mhm.
Um, and so that's usually what I would normally do. Maybe I need to start journaling. Talk to Siri and just have type everything out that I'm thinking, whatever. But yeah, most of the time I meditate and pray. Um, Mostly to for everybody else, and then myself as well. Just try to be a better version, try to do better than I did the previous second. Because we all are work up in progress, and so uh, I strongly believe in that. And I don't pass judgment on anybody, but I always open and willingly to talk to you if you're interested in my faith and how I got to where I am now. I don't mind sharing that and try to guide you the best way possible. But at the same time, we both on the same journey. Just hope that we all make it to the same destination.
Right? Yeah, and I used to kind of think that there were like certain times that I could pray. Like I grew up in the church, and that was kind of my time, but now I just know any time of day. I talk to God throughout the day. And even I think it was just last week or the week before, I was coming home. I was driving coming home, and I was like, "Okay, God, you got to give me a sign. Like I need a sign. You got to show me something." And you can ask for those things. And I was like, "I know. I'm watching. I'm looking. I'm listening." And so right then, right when I got home that evening, like 10 minutes later, I don't know if you saw this, but I was walking because I posted a couple things about this, but I was walking into the apartment, and I looked down, and there's a rosary on the ground
Hmm.
right in front of me. And I go, okay.
Yes, I remember seeing you posting that.
It was, I was like, oh, okay. And I
Right.
think that's just one of those reminders of like, okay, I see you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Relax.
Yes. And most of us don't hear the voice or whatever, but you can hear it through a song or passing by a building or somebody just happened to just say something to you that you was meditating on. And
Mhm.
um so God uses it, any person, place, or thing to reach out to you, including speaking directly to you. And so
Yeah.
you just got to be able to decipher his voice from all the other noise, because his voice is very calm, like a whisper.
And
but you
that's why,
but when it's coming from him
yes.
versus anything else that's spoken to you or whatever. You definitely would know that.
Yeah, someone was talking the other day, this woman, she was like, "My inner voice," and I just was like, "God speaking to you." You know, That's what I'm like, your inner voice, that's God. So, oh, if it's in a positive manner, of course, you
Oh,
just know. You're like, okay, yeah, yeah, I get it. Okay.
you have that peace and calmness over you.
Yeah. And music, totally. Like music, if people knew, it's the most healing thing. And it can, I just had some very calm music on, so I've been kind of like dipping into like the different hertz
Hmm.
and listening to that, the uh what's it, 432, and then there's like all these different hertz that you listen to for different things, and it's so calming to me. It really is. So for
Yes,
people that can't meditate, I always say just listen to some very calm music.
yes. Plenty of it on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
You're
Exactly.
just looking for the frequency, 432.
That is
Type that
exactly
in YouTube. You'll
that's
find,
exactly where I go. Yes.
yes, plenty of content.
Yeah. And then when you're feeling kind of like down and you need to, get energized,
Hmm.
find the songs you love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there
music is therapeutic. And
Mhm.
it's the universal language because it touches everybody.
It is. Do you have any favorite songs that you listen to on a regular basis?
Depend on my mood.
Uh-huh.
But I do like listening to Bob Marley. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
Any of his music is calming, revolutionary, uplifting. So I definitely listen to his music. And then I listen to Donnie McClurkin, Kurt Franklin, Toby Mac, Torrin Wells. I listen to a very good collective of those artists. Lauren Daigle, just uh, something that's has that today's sound, but has that message that you want to hear too at the same time. And so I definitely make sure I keep those artists in rotation too. Um, but being in this industry, you listen to everything
Mhm.
willingly or not willingly. Um, of course, the Migos was one of my favorite groups. Before the tragedy and everything with Takeoff and stuff. But I enjoy how they delivered their music as far as the flow, the production and stuff like that. But outside of them, I just listen to music just to try to get what direction or where they coming from. All music is not good music. You know that as well. And so
Mhm.
Bob Marley's probably my number one artist. And we'll go back Michael Jackson. Shoot, I like Johnny Cash, Prince,
Mhm.
any of the Motown stuff. That's some of the stuff I grew up listening to with my parents and everything. So I like a lot of '60s music too. Um, Hippie music. Jefferson Airplane, Mamas and the Papas, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, of course. So yeah, I enjoy listening to, you know, just all kind of music, basically.
I love it. I wasn't introduced to a lot of different music when I was younger. So I'm still learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you listening to?
See now, so I want to tell you, like, for a while, I went from like, I would say in my high school years to like hard rock. I went from hard rock to country, like overnight. And now I'm not a big country music fan.
Hmm.
Some of it, okay. Some, yes. A lot of older, for sure. A lot of the older music. And that's
Right.
what my parents listened to. And, they had a jukebox in their basement. So that's where I listened to a lot of that, which was a lot of Johnny Cash and some of some things that my sisters would love to listen to. And And Elvis, of course, was always in my life. And
Mhm.
um now I'm kind of like branching out. I love like hipster music. I love R&B, where I was not introduced to any of that before.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Great, great
I'm
genres of
open.
music.
Okay,
Can't,
right?
you can't go wrong with any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then, there's moments that you want to listen to, you know, different this and that. But on a regular basis, yeah, I would say it's more of I call it hipster rock. I don't know. And yeah, and R&B. So, and I love live music. We have a lot of live music around here. I actually, where I live, I can walk,
Mm.
or I can sit on the balcony and listen to live music next door.
Yes, that's how it is here.
Oh,
We on the Gulf of Mexico, the Alabama, Florida Panhandle. So it's music 365 days a year here,
yeah.
all day, all night.
Wow. No, you see, wintertime, everybody shuts down here
Yes,
in the cold.
never sleep here. It's
Oh my
always
God.
always music somewhere.
Yeah, you've got that Florabama down there.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah, we're about 15 minutes from there. I love it there. Actually went there last week. Went to we walked right through Floribama to go to the beach. And then out back they have a beach stage too. So we was able to play around on the beach for a little bit and then walk back through Floribama and got a drink.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've only been there once, but yes, I
World
had the
famous
opportunity.
Floribama.
Huh?
The world famous Floribama.
Uh-huh. Right? I know.
Yeah, I went down on the stage, not the main stage, but the biggest stage they have. I went up and signed the banner. They had it roped off, and my friends were with me. They were like, "You need to go sign your name on that banner." So I was able to sign my name on the banner. So anytime people walk in there, you'll see Tee Recx on the
Nice.
Alabama banner.
Okay, okay. Love it. Now,
Yes.
do you play musical instruments?
No, I play no music instruments other than
Okay.
DJing,
Mhm.
vinyl, scratching, DJ
Okay.
controllers. Um, I tried to play the keyboard and stuff like that before, but that didn't work out too well. But I did learn how to play "Love Me Tender." That was the first and only song I was able to learn how to play on the keyboard.
Oh, nice. I love it. Okay. Yeah. I need to practice some more or take lessons again. That's
Yeah.
the one thing I wanted to learn how to play too. I have one here.
Okay. Yeah, give it a shot.
Mhm. Yes. Okay. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I always wanted to introduce my kids to music too,
Mm.
because if you can be introduced to music too, it can help you like with your math skills later on in life.
Yes,
It's amazing what music can do.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I love it. I love it. I appreciate you being on here today. Um,
Having fun.
I know. Is there anything else that you want to like share with everyone that
Uh, yeah, just be genuine. All this
Mhm.
fake and it's the new real and all, you know how people be coming up with a slogan or a meme every other day. Just be real. There's nothing like being yourself. We all are put on this earth to accomplish something and serve our purpose, and the only way you can do that is by being yourself.
Mhm.
That's what I would recommend, and just
Mhm.
take the time to build yourself up, love others, always be helpful, to serve, to give,
Mhm.
because you'll get all that in return. It might not come from the same source that you gave to,
Mhm.
but it will come back to you in some form or fashion. And you get what you put in. And so just be mindful of that.
Mhm.
Don't I also don't always pay attention to what you see on TV.
Mhm.
um, because media can be manipulative. The only way you will find out the truth is actually going out and living in yourself. Go out in the streets. Go travel, or go talk to other people, and you'll see that the narrative is not what is always shown to us through social media, magazine, radio, TV. So we just all got to get back to being personable with each other and
Mhm.
put these gadgets down sometime, because the gadgets is time fillers. If you're not using it as a tool, if you're not using it as a tool, it can definitely consume and destroy your life. So use it as a tool,
Mhm.
and your source should be something way outside of this earth. If you believe in God, that should be your source. Nothing under him or her or whatever should not be a source. And so that's the message I would like to give to people. We can't do anything to fix yesterday. There's nothing we can do about tomorrow because it's never promised. The only thing we have is right now to not only exist but try to live and just try to make the best of the situation. I know we all are not dealt the same cards,
Mhm.
but we all have the same problems and the same cause and effects. If you rich, poor, live in the United States or living outside of the United States, we all going through this life together. So why not unify and just try to make the best of it? It's not gonna get easier, but it makes life much more better in my opinion, because you have people that share same interests or can relate to what you're going through, and you don't feel like you in this world alone anymore when you align yourself with people like that. And so just always stay prayed up. Tell your loved ones you love them today. Tomorrow's never promised. I always love God, love people.
Yeah. I love that. There was so much that I resonated with what you just said. And one of the things we were talking about when we first got on here, I told you, I said, look, this is raw and real. Okay. We're not editing. We're not doing these fancy filters. I know you don't do filters on, but on Instagram. Okay.
I can do a human filter.
I may have a little, I may have a little filter on sometimes, but nothing major. But as far as this
Nothing wrong.
goes, huh?
So there's nothing wrong with filters. I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
You know? But as far as this, I told you, I said, "Look, I'm not editing this. You know, this is two people talking. I'm not trying to hide that I don't have proper English.
I don't either.
Me.
Do the best,
This is right?
do the best I can.
That's right.
As long as you
Exactly.
can understand and comprehend what I'm saying, I feel like we're good.
Yeah. And finding your authentic self. Instead of just listening and doing what other people are doing, just stop for a minute. Like, what do I love? What would I love? And
Right.
so, do you feel like today are you doing what you love? Are you living the life that you love?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I always had the internal battle, me versus me,
Mhm.
me, myself, and I.
Right?
Yes, but in general, yes, I love the life I'm living. I wouldn't take anything away. I
Mhm.
have no regrets, because in
Mhm.
just a small tweak of anything from the past would I would not be here. So got to take everything that has happened to me from the beginning up to this current time.
Yeah. Totally agree. All of those things that happened, they made who we are today. And
Absolutely.
so if we didn't go through those things, You know, I wouldn't have tried harder and competition, yes, I'm only in competition basically with myself, no one else. I'm not looking in the other lanes. I'm just doing what feels right. And I know you are too. And I love that. I love your journey and I love your inspiration. And thank you.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this. I was able to just, speak openly and, not holding a thing back.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, thank you so much again, Tee Recx. I appreciate you. It was so nice finally getting to meet you. So, and I'm sure everyone's going to love this. And we're going to have all of your information and a little bio about you. So if they want to read some more and hear some more, they can do that and they can find you on social media and we'll have your handles and everything included. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. And I know you feel empowered and inspired through Tee Rex's story, and just go out there and find your authentic self and live the best life that you can. And if you need some help, reach out because I can help through my mentoring program that I have. I would love to help you. And so until next time, like my grandma used to say, because she never said goodbye. So my grandma said, so long, see you later.
So long.